Okay, it's Scott Miller. I am back from Cloud Dominant, and we are a Salesforce consultancy, and we help small to medium-sized businesses and nonprofits get up to speed on Salesforce, help configure their organization, their Salesforce org, customize it to their particular needs, and we also do handle automations, integrations, whatever your organization needs with regards to Salesforce and any complementary or related software and technologies, and we can pretty much help you along the way. So what I'm going to do today is give you an overview of Salesforce and Sales Cloud, the most basic application on Salesforce. This is basically for those small to medium-sized businesses and nonprofits who may not have a Salesforce professional on staff. So let's get started. I'm going to do a quick description of Salesforce and CRM as a high level concept. CRM, customer relationship management, is not necessarily a technology. It's become synonymous with technology, but it's basically a strategy. How do you interact with your customers? What are the touch points to interact with your customers? How the leads come in the system, how are contacts coming in the system, referrals, whatever you work with, and how are they managed throughout their customer life cycle? Are you managing values like customer lifetime value? Are you looking at things that help prioritize customers? So that's what CRM is. It basically help you manage your relationship with your customers. The purpose? Well, it's basically a database. And in the past, we've used all kinds of databases to manage customers. And I know companies generally will start with a spreadsheet. They'll move up to an Outlook list or contact list or something similar, maybe in Gmail. Then they graduate to a CRM, and Salesforce is the powerhouse of them all. Is the most popular and widely used CRM in the world. So Salesforce as a CRM, and like I just said, it's the most popular and most widely used. Even more importantly, it's the most customizable. So if you work with business to business, out of the box, it's mostly created for a business to business transaction, but it can be used for business to consumer. It can be used for nonprofits. It can be used in a lot of different ways. So it's very flexible, very powerful, and I'll be going over a lot of the standard objects coming up, or a lot of the standard features, I should say, and I'll describe what an object is. Standard objects, there it is. An object is basically a database table. So if you have something like customers, that's would be, an object. If you have orders, that will be another object. If let's think of another. Well, here in this case, we have lead, we have contact, opportunity. You could have locations, could be an object. If you have a customer that has multiple locations, then those locations would be related to that particular account. And the account right here is basically a company. And if you sell business to business, then the account is kind of the lifeblood of your business. A lead, we'll go over that a little bit later, but a lead is just that. It's a potential or prospective customer. We have contact. It's basically an existing customer relationship. A lead can become a contact. Opportunity is a potential transaction, or to give you an example, say you sell shirts and someone asks to buy 1,000 shirts for the particular event, then that particular transaction would be an opportunity. A case is customer service. So somebody would raise a case if they have an issue, just like when you call Comcast or Verizon and you have a problem with your cell phone or your home internet, that will be a case for them. So the same thing with you. If you're selling 1,000 shirts and say something goes wrong with the shipment, then that your customer would raise a case and say, hey, it's going to be late for our event. So you have to figure out, that customer service person will have to figure out how to get that shipment there sooner. So that's how you use case. And it can be used in a lot of different ways, but that's the basic use for the case object. I included it here because I think it's powerful. I think all companies can use it in some way because cases aren't just a cost or a customer service opportunity. They're also a upsell opportunity, and they're also a way to satisfy your customers. So I think that they have top line business value as well. Okay, so we'll talk about object relationships. How do these accounts and leads and things, how do they interact with one another? I'll show you this in the demo, but basically the account is the company. Contacts generally will buy or work for that company. Opportunities represent a potential transaction for an account. So an account can have multiple opportunities. We hope, right? We want them to have lots of opportunities. And leads are, whatever your company is, you generate leads in a variety of ways. Or a nonprofit. If you're a nonprofit, you have potential donors. And managing that data and understanding who is a potential donor or who is a potential buyer is super important. You can go out there and just start throwing stuff at the wall and see what sticks. But if you have data and who are your existing customers and who are potential customers and who's more likely to buy than others, and you have data about them and you understand their buying cycle, and you show up at the right time and you offer the right value at the right time, and you know that they their budget isn't expired for the year, and some of these details you can manage inside of Salesforce. So it's good to have that information. And like I said, whatever relates specifically to your business, it's important to tell your Salesforce person so that they can help integrate that in your system. Because what Salesforce is unique to your business. Only your company has, or your nonprofit has, that particular set of donors or a particular set of customers, and that data on those customers, that history and those interactions. So that makes your company, that makes your CRM unique to you, and it's a competitive advantage. If you set up and use it correctly, it's a competitive advantage that's going to make you better than your competitors. Okay, and time for the fun part, the demo. So let me get over here to my org. All right, so this is a sample org, Salesforce org that I have that I can, without showing anyone any proprietary data. So I'm in. You can go over here to the left, and there's these dots, and there's all these applications. And obviously, if I was working with you or your team, I would do the instruction like this in video, in person, or via Zoom, and also provide documentation so that you know where to get to what you need. You don't need to learn the whole system. If you're a salesperson, if you're an SDR, like a business development rep, and you probably want to spend time in leads. And if you're a transaction coordinator or a transaction manager or a CSR, like a customer service rep, you probably want to be in opportunities or cases. So we'll go over all that, but I just wanted to give you a high level. This is where you're going to spend most of your time, most likely, is in sales. We can customize your home screen to show what's important to you and your company to a particular user. Not everybody has to have the same home screen. We can create a home screen for salespeople. We can create a home screen for transaction people, managers. We can control visibility so that managers can only see certain things and not everyone can see everything. Each salesperson can only see their own accounts. A lot of different things can be done. So it's very customizable. It's very powerful, and in the right hands, it's very powerful. And with great power comes great responsibility, as they say. So you want to make sure it's configured properly. I can point out that I've been doing this as a developer and salesperson and Salesforce administrator, and now architect for 5 years. I've also been working on the system for about 10 years. I used to use it as a user, so I'm very familiar with from inside and outside, from the front end to the back end. I'm also a developer. I can code. I can architect solutions. So I'm going to give you the best solution for your situation, for your budget, for your situation. We won't over-engineer anything. We'll get you up and running quickly, and then we'll iterate. We'll provide features quickly so that you can get started quickly. We're not going to hold you up with long development cycles. So let's run through these objects that I described. We'll start with the leads. This is just sample leads, but basically to give you an idea of how it works, Barbara Boxer is a lead. This is a company we're not currently working with. This is her title. We assume that she's probably a buyer for this company called Farmers Co-op of Florida, and we want to sell her something. We have ratings, we have statuses. As you can see at the top here: open, not contacted; working, contacted; closed. And these can be converted into accounts and contacts, and hopefully opportunities. We can also do that as well. We can use AI to score them. Here in this case, we just have a manual field where we just select warm, hot, and cold, which is fine. But if we have a lot of leads and we have a lot of closed opportunities and a lot of converted leads, we can actually use Salesforce's built-in Einstein feature to score the leads. And what does that do? What does scoring leads do? Well, if you have somebody who's contacting these leads, they can prioritize them by the higher scores. They can make sure that the people with the higher scores are getting contacted more frequently. So there's a lot of different things that can be done. A lot of ways to get this data in here, a lot of ways to import leads, a lot of ways to integrate leads automatically. So there's a lot of things that can be done. So it just it depends on your organization's, particular situation. Okay, so let's go take a look at accounts. And like I said, we said accounts were companies. What kind of information do you want to keep on a company? The revenue, number of employees. We're also going to see that they have contacts. So Jack Rogers works for this particular account called Burlington Textiles Corporation of America. The website, ticker symbol, ownership type is a public company. Their address, billing address, shipping address. They may have different shipping locations. So this is really a basic setup for an account. This all can be customized. If you have multiple shipping locations for a company, if you have multiple accounts, you can set it up that way. You can also have parent accounts. I've seen it where, so here you can put a parent account. You can have 5 levels of account relationships. So if you have a hierarchy where one company owns another company, we can have a hierarchy like that. And automation can be set up to structure approvals and things like that based on the hierarchy. So, and we can aggregate, total amount spent, customer lifetime value. We can do all that. Pretty much anything. We can pretty much do anything. I talked about contacts. Basically a contact, we'll look at this list view here. But basically a contact is an individual, a person that works at a company. So we'll take a quick look at that. Here's his information, and have his addresses, birth date, things like that. If you want to contact them with a happy birthday email or something like that. Related issues. So we have cases. I talked about cases as being a customer service request. This one in particular has to deal with equipment design. So apparently, in this example, a deal took place. They purchased something from our company, and they had an equipment design issue. So we want to track, how that was handled, how that issue was handled by our customer service team. And let's see, we looked at leads, opportunities. Actually, we didn't look at opportunities yet. So let's go take a look at an opportunity. This is an existing deal. So here we have, this one's actually closed one. So they earned a lot of revenue off of this, $235,000. So basically, it shows the account. So opportunities are going to always relate to an account. The account is the parent. They own that opportunity. That is the customer. This one says, this is a field. What type is it? New customer, existing customer, upgrade, downgrade. You can also have customers that are, say you sell subscriptions. You can do that as well. You can recognize revenue however it comes. If it comes on a monthly basis, we can set up revenue schedules. There's a lot of different things that can be done, but in this case, it's a one-time transaction. They delivered some equipment, and they earn money from them. And here's a probability Probabilities can be, they relate to the stage. So basically a stage, in this situation, the stage is standard, but you can customize the stages and the probabilities of closing, based on how far along you've gotten. So those are, and I'll show you real quick, one more thing. Forecast. Actually, we haven't set up forecast, so I can't show you that, but maybe next time I'll do it. Matter of fact, the next video I'll do forecast. But basically, I've shown you the standard objects in Salesforce: opportunities, leads, accounts, contacts, and cases. With cases is sometimes a standard object, sometimes not. But I hope you enjoyed my overview, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks a lot for staying through the whole thing. Have a good one. Bye.